your top right there.
Okay, so there you, so right now you can see the text.
There we go.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, like, I mean, although it might sound a bit like a swear word, like shit, like, but in
Yeah.
Spanish, here in Colombia, what we would say to a friend when he tells us something like that, we would say like, ah, que mierda. But
Oh,
that implies what you were just mentioning about I can only imagine, like, I feel for you, like I've been
I feel
there,
for you.
right?
That's it. I
Mhm.
feel for you.
Okay.
It's not just saying I
So
feel for you, like like the
y-
I feel for you.
we wouldn't say that in Spanish. Like, we wouldn't just say that in Spanish. We would say like, ah, que mierda, but it might sound a bit informal, a little bit too informal. But now if it's like an acquaintance, you could say like, um, let me think. Well,
See.
I would say, I would just say, ah, que mierda. I don't care what people think
Yeah,
about
no,
me, but
I like that. Akimierdas, it's short and because yeah,
yeah,
it's short and sweet. You don't have to lament like a big lament for somebody
right. Now,
because
let me
that's
think.
when you start taking over the conversation and they don't get to vent or complain or whatever. So you keep it short and sweet. It's like getting conversation.
Yeah,
It's
so
it was just interesting though. I think I'm gonna start saying solo puede imaginar because after a while, my friends is gonna understand how I use it because
solo puedo imaginarlo. You could say, solo puedo imaginarlo.
sí, solo puedo imaginarlo.
That would be the
It's a
translation of it. But I
uh-huh.
mean, like, unless the person you're talking to knows a bit of English,
Yeah,
they would be like, what do you mean? Like, they would be
yeah,
like,
I know.
they would look at you like, what does he mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, living here, like people understand your struggle with Spanish because you try to translate things exactly what you're trying to say, and people think it's only once in a while that that happened. I think like they call it false friends, fake friends, false friends in Spanish.
hmm
Um, you can't translate things word for word
I mean,
most of
like,
the
for the
time.
most part, you can. For the
For
most
the
part,
most
you
part,
can.
yeah,
Yes, but there is a 20% that is off that statement. That it's definitely like this. I can only imagine is definitely one of those exceptions, especially because it can be used either for a positive or a negative statement. So
yeah.
so like, if it's a negative statement, you would say, ah, que mierda. But if it's like a positive, like for example, the sentence that we're having a look at right now, which is, I don't know what I'll do. Oh no, so you've lost your passport, you can only imagine it. You've never lost your passport, so you can only imagine it. So as I told you, in Spanish, um, we would just say you wouldn't know what to do.
Hmm.
We wouldn't say you can only imagine it. We would say you wouldn't know what to do if that happened to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do the first one. I don't know what I'll do if I lose my passport.
Okay. Okay. I don't know. No sé.
Yep.
No, no, no sé lo que haré.
Mm-hmm.
No sé lo que haré si, si, si pierdo mi pasaporte.
Yes. The next one. I don't know what I do if I lost my passport.
Okay. Okay. No sé
Mm-hmm.
lo que haría si,
Yep.
um, si I lost my passport. Si, si pier, um, si, si perdiera mi
Si
pasaporte.
perdiera.
Si
Mm-hmm.
perdiera mi pasaporte.
Good. The next one. Somebody stops you and asks the way to the bank. Which Okay, so how would you translate that? Somebody stops you and asks the way to the bank.
Alguien te, alguien te detiene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alguien te detiene y te preguntas. Well, y asks the way. Asks you the way, or just y pregunta.
Y pregunta.
Okay, y pregunta. ¿Dónde queda el banco?
That's a perfect translation, like, because it's not actually a direct translation. This is another exception to that we were speaking a while
Yeah,
ago.
the way.
Like,
The
yeah, the
yeah.
way the
Okay,
bank,
then
we
you
wouldn't
start,
just
baby.
say that. Yeah, what you just said, it's perfect. It's
Okay.
just perfect. You could also say, like, and ask how to get to the bank or how to get to a bank.
Oh,
So,
okay. Okay, how to get. ¿Cómo llegar al banco?
como llegar a un banco.
A un banco. Okay.
Yes. Now, if you go right at the end of the street, you'll see a bank on your left.
Okay. Si, si vas a la derecha, si vas a la derecha, en
But
la,
this is
en,
like, this means like if you go on the right side of the street, of this same street, right?
oh, you go, okay, not towards the right. Okay, I see. Okay, si vas al lado derecha, on the right side,
We would say si vas por el lado derecho,
por, por el lado derecho. Okay, si vas por el lado derecho, um,
hasta,
ah,
hasta,
hasta, okay. Okay, si vas por el lado derecho, hasta al fin de la calle,
hasta el fin de esta calle, o hasta el final.
de esta calle, al fin de esta calle, sí,
It would sound more natural to
sí,
say hasta el final de esta calle.
hasta el final, sí, hasta el final de esta calle.
Yeah, you'll see a bank on your left.
Okay, okay, verás, you will see, verás un banco, um, a, a tu izquierda, al lado de, a tu izquierda, like on your left side,
Sí, verás un banco a tu izquierda.
a tu izquierda. Verás, verás un banco a tu izquierda.
Yeah, now if you went right at the end of this street, you'd see a bank on your left.
Okay, okay. Si, si fues a la derecha,
Si fueras por el lado derecho,
si fueras, if you went, si
ujú,
fueras,
ujú,
if you went fueras,
yeah,
fueras keep tripping me up. That's subjunctive.
yep,
But how come the top the okay. Okay. The if every
yeah,
time, okay. The if every time in past tense is subjunctive.
ujú,
I
ujú.
gotta get that. That's why. Okay, I got it. Si fueras derecha,
Si fueras por el lado derecho,
si 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 fueras por lado derecho, um,
hasta,
al hasta al final de la calle, de esta calle.
ujú, you would
Si
see a
fueras,
bank on your left.
okay, si fueras, uh, como al lado por la, como si fueras
Por el lado
por, si fueras por el lado,
derecho,
por in this case is what?
like for, I mean, like, there is not a direct translation for that. It's just how we would say it in Spanish. Like, por el lado derecho, like if you went
Por el
on your
lado
right
derecho.
side, kind of thing.
Yeah, okay, por el lado. Okay, I guess towards. Okay, okay, okay. Si fueras por el lado derecho,
Mm-hmm.
al final de esta calle
hasta el final.
hasta el final de esta calle.
Yeah. You'd see
Um,
a bank on your left.
um, verías, um, verías un banco a tu izquierda.
Verías un banco a la izquierda, yes. Now, you're in a lift, there is an emergency button. Nobody is going to press it. So, how do you say that?
You're in a lift. Okay. Estás en un ascensor. What kind of lift? I don't even know.
Ascensor? Yeah, it's the same ascensor.
Ascensor, ascensor, sí. Está en un ascensor
Mm-hmm.
y there's an emergency button. Hay un, hay un, hay un botón para emergencias.
Hay un
O
botón de...
hay un, oh, emergency button. Hay un botón de emergencias.
Yes. Nobody is going to press it.
Okay. Nadie, nadie va a apretarlo.
Nadie va a, nadie va a presionarlo.
O a presionar. Okay.
Yeah.
Apretar is to push or to
Yeah, I mean,
press.
like, you could say that as well.
No, but a
Apretarlo.
presionar, I know a presionar is better. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nadie va a presionarlo.
Yes. So, what will happen if somebody presses that button?
Okay. ¿Qué pasará si alguien presiona ese botón?
Yes. So, what will happen if somebody pressed that button?
Okay. ¿Qué, qué, 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 qué pasaría?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, sí. ¿Qué pasaría si alguien um, presionara ese botón?
Ese botón.
Presionar. That's correct?
Yeah, presionara. Okay, so for the first,
I love this thing, present, past, subjunctive, everything in it. Like this is a perfect lesson right here.
yeah,
I mean,
I'm going to
it's kicking my butt trying to do the rules, and that's the thing in Spanish too. Which and I have a problem with because I think part of the reason I spend too much time in the house is trying to translate everything from Spanish to English back to Spanish.
I
And
mean, that's not it's not bad to do that. Now,
it just gets you lost. But like, yeah, but the whole conversation would be over by the time you translate one sentence.
I mean, like there is something like what I'm doing with you in the lessons and what I do with everyone during the lessons is that I teach you language so you can actually apply what you learn with me during a
In
real life
everyday,
conversation.
yes.
Okay, so that's why I've got many students who ask me like, oh, but I want to speak, I want to speak, I want to speak, and I always tell them the same, like, hey, go to these applications, check them out, Tandem and Hello Talk. I mean, right now you're in a Spanish speaking country, so I guess it's easier for you to talk to native Spanish speakers. But there are many people who haven't got the chance, so that's what I always tell them, like, hey, like I'm going to teach you how to speak better every day. I will help you sharpen your language skills,
What's
but then
tandem and hello talk like?
they are pretty much like language exchange applications.
Okay.
So you will find people who want to learn English, and then you can have conversations with them while you're practicing your Spanish, and they practice their English. So that's why
And
I
these are
tell,
two different sites. Tandem and hello talk is two different.
yeah, you might want to try the two of them both because I mean, some people prefer tandem better and some others prefer hello talk better. Like it's just like you
For
just
my okay, but for what I'm looking for, which one do you think I need to focus on? Well, I'll check them both out. I'll check them both
yeah,
out.
I mean those two applications work the same. Like the purpose is the same one. It's
Okay.
to practice languages with native speakers, like so you can have like a language exchange online. So that's why I always tell my students that hey, I don't want to charge you to talk to you in the language, because what I like, you have realized this, when you're having a fluent conversation, it's not nice that I interrupt your speech to correct you. You understand my point?
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
should have the flow of the conversation to, hey, you shouldn't say that while you're telling me something that you might be interested in telling me, right? So it would be like very uncomfortable. So that's
That's
why,
no, no, no. You made a very good point there because that's my thing, and I tell myself that you know, I have to humble myself to someone that's teaching me something and not be too arrogant wherein I have a problem with being corrected when I'm saying something. But it's just a way of doing it, and but I've still always had a problem with people, with being stopped and being corrected, even though I know that's what I need to be better. I need to, I need to humble myself and shut the fuck up and be taught. But at the same time, my thing with thing is it's and like you have a bunch of students, and my past teachers they got a bunch of students, so no one can really, how you say, specialize your lesson, but like teaching someone first and then testing them on what you've taught them, they should understand why they're being interrupted. Because, like, listen, dude, I gave you a vocabulary list. I taught you. It's reading comprehension. I don't know if you've done reading comprehension. You read a book or 10 paragraphs, and it's followed by a questionnaire.
right.
So you're prepped for what I'm about to, you know. So I don't mind a Spanish lesson and being interrupted, because you already taught me it, like what you taught me here with the passport, you know. So at the end of the day, like, we live in such an entitled society where you offend people by correcting them. It's just a bunch of friggin'. I'm not even gonna insult the homosexual community by calling them pussies, because there's probably homosexuals way less sensitive than these actual ass chumps that can't be corrected.
Mhm.
So, like,
You,
like
you know,
everybody, you know,
it's just understanding the process that I just told you. Like when you're practicing speaking fluency, then that is not the time to be corrected, because that's when you want all that knowledge that you've got to come out.
yeah,
Like whatever it is, you want it to come out, even if it's not the perfect right way that you already learned. But
yeah,
that's the time for you to practice fluency. So that's why I'll tell everyone that, hey, I don't want to charge you to talk to you in the language that I'm teaching you, because you can
yeah,
do that for free with people on these applications, on groups on Facebook. So it's something that you shouldn't be charged for. It's something that I don't consider that anyone should charge for. That's a very personal
yeah,
opinion, because you can practice fluency, like speaking with a native speaker who just wants to learn English just as much as you do Spanish. So, so it's quite convenient for people who are like learning each one of the languages. Now, what I like doing is this: what we've been doing, like teaching you. So it's easier to correct you each sentence, because each sentence it's got a very straightforward idea, and then I
yeah,
tell you like, oh, you should say this, then, or you should say that, or you can
yeah.
do this,
No,
that. So I'm
yeah,
not actually interrupting you. I'm like, we're doing like step by step and
yeah.
correcting you each one of the things that you might want to improve in your language,
Yes,
in the language that you
incremental.
learn.
It's awesome. It's incremental. It's incremental adjustments in your language.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
And
exactly.
it's cool. I like it.
Okay, so let's have a look at this one. Put a verb into the correct form. So this is what we've been speaking about. This is subjunctive because this is conditional too. So I'd be very scared if somebody pointed a gun at me.
Okay. I would be okay. Okay. Sería muy um
So usually when we're speaking about emotions, you should say estar
no no
instead
no
of
no
ser.
no sí 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 no. Estaría, sí, correcto. That's correct. Estaría muy miedoso or
Muy
or yeah, like scared,
asustado.
asustado. Sí.
Ujú.
Estaría muy asustado si alguien um okay, pointed a gun at me.
Apuntara.
No, sí, um apun sí, apuntara.
Si alguien apuntara
Alguien si alguien apuntara una pistola a mí,
una pistola hacia mí.
así a mí.
Yeah, a mí, it's okay, but it doesn't sound as good as hacia mí. I think it sounds better to say hacia mí.
Así a mí.
So I can't afford to buy a car.
Ok, ok. No puedo pagar por un carro.
You know, although I understand the meaning in English, in Spanish, we wouldn't say that. We would just say, I cannot buy a car. That's what we would say in Spanish.
Oh, no puedo comprar un carro.
Yes, and that would
But
imply the same idea.
afford not being able to afford something is there's no translation.
I mean, because
Like
I
afford
usually,
just
we wouldn't just say that. Like, there are some contexts in which you can say, but usually afford, we translate it as comprar, or probably like
oh
pagar. Like, you could also say
see
like
yeah I
pagar.
thought that's yeah no puedo pagar. I can't pay for it. Like see
Yeah, exactly. Like, you could say that no puedo pagar un carro nuevo.
nuevo un carro
Yeah,
nuevo. Okay.
yeah. That's something
Okay.
that you could say, although I wouldn't say it either in Spanish.
Okay, that's fine.
Like
No,
I
so no
cannot afford.
puedo comprar.
Yeah, no puedo comprar is the best option. No puedo comprar un
Okay,
carro.
okay. No puedo
Now,
comprar un carro.
what we would say is, I cannot buy a car now. So that word now would convey the same idea.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
No puedo pagar. Um, I can't. Oh, no puedo comprar un carro ahora.
Yes.
Or yeah,
So
I don't know.
if I bought a car, I'd have to borrow the money.
Okay, in past tense.
Yeah,
Okay.
if I bought a car,
Si,
I have to borrow.
okay. Si yo, okay. Si yo comprara, si yo comprara un carro, um, okay, I would have to, tendría que, um, tendría que tomar prestado el dinero.
It would sound better to say tendría que prestar el dinero.
Oh, prestar. Okay, I thought the prestar is like to lend. Prest.
Technically, yes,
Yes, it is.
but
Prestar.
but in Spanish is not unclear to say it. Like, if you said that, it would be clear that it means that you're borrowing it as opposed to lending it. Okay,
Oh, so
so I would just say
prestar can mean borrow and lend.
prestar. In this very case, okay, this is more of
Oh,
an
so you need
exception than a
context.
rule. Okay,
Okay.
so when we're speaking about like an object, so if I told you the same, like, hey, if I would get an Oculus Quest if I didn't have to borrow the money. Now, in that case, since it's obvious that we're speaking about an object, a thing that I would probably buy, then if you just say prestar instead of tomar prestado, you could also say like ask to lend in Spanish, if you will. And what
Mhm.
that means is pedir prestado. You could say like, I'd have to borrow the money. So in Spanish, you could also say, tendría que pedir prestado el dinero.
Okay. Tendría pedir
Tendría
prestado
que,
el dinero.
tendría que pedir prestado el dinero.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although,
Tendría que.
although,
Uh-huh.
although what I would say in Spanish is just prestar, and people would understand what I mean. Like,
Okay, yeah, that's a lot of. All right, prestar is it. That's fine.
yeah, so tendría que prestar el dinero. Like I would say that, and people understand that I actually mean to borrow the money and not that I'm going to lend. I mean, why would I lend the money if I needed to get the stuff, right? So
But
it's kind of common sense, sort of. um,
yeah, I want. Yeah, we keep working on this tomorrow.
yeah, sure. So let's continue tomorrow then. I'll talk to you at the same time.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, mate, my pleasure. Have a
Hey man,
nice.
good chat, man. Thank you. Good lesson.
Okay, okay. Have a nice one.